Yesterday we did a little bit of factoring. Um, I'm going to see if I can help you through a little bit more using some other problems. So the first one that we're going to do is x squared plus 3x plus 2. Okay. So again, the way that we start is we write down the factors of 2 because this is the number that it has to multiply to b, and this is the number that it has to add to b. Okay, so we're looking for two numbers that multiply to be 2 and that add to be 3. So let's do this a little bit more structured. All right, so factors of 2 are going to be 1 and 2. If I take 1 and 2 and I add them, I get 3. And there's no other factors of 2 besides 1 and 2. So my two factors are going to be 1 and 2. So now what do I do with them, right? So now I go double bubble. Everything is positive, so I don't need to worry about the signs. So I go x plus 1 and x plus 2. So that's our first problem. I'm going to ask you to get better at checking your answers too. So the way that Ms. Rodriguez showed it to you is using this box method. So it's x plus 1, so we're going to write it x in one, 1 in the other. And then over here we have x plus 2, so we're going to put an x there and a 2 there. Just keep in mind that everything is plus. So x times x gives us x squared. X times 1 gives us 1x. X times 2 gives us 2x. And 2 times 1 gives us 2. And I know that we've been practicing on combining like terms. So this x squared is chilling by itself, so we write down x squared. 1x plus 2x is equal to 3x. And this 2 doesn't combine with anything else, so you write plus 2. If the answer that you get after you FOIL matches the answer that you the question that you started out with, like this, then you know that your answer is correct. So your final answer for the question is x plus 1 times x plus 2. So I'm going to write it over here. Final answer, x plus 1, parentheses, x plus 2. Okay? All right, so hopefully we have the idea. We're going to go through and do a couple more. So x squared plus 5x plus 4. So start out the same way, right? Two numbers that add to be 5 and multiply to be 4. So first thing we want to do is we want to write down the factors of 4, right? The factors of 4. So factors of 4 are 2 times 2. So now we're going to add them together. Is 2 plus 2 equal to 5? The answer is no. 4 does not equal 5, right? So those factors that we just came up with, they don't work. So now let's try and see what other factors of 4 are. So remember, you can use your multiplication chart to help you. Other numbers that multiply to give you 4 are 1 and 4. So let's check that. 1 plus 4 is equal to 5, and 5 equals 5. So we have our factors, right? Our factors are poop right there. So we take it and we put it in our double bubble. So we have x plus 1 and x plus 4. I'm going to go ahead, just to be consistent, let's go ahead and FOIL it and make sure that our answer is correct. Pause the video at this point, fill in the numbers in the box, and then forward to the answer. Okay? So I just went through quick speed because you're forwarding through this part, but my answer when I FOILed matched my original question. So that means that my answers, which is x plus 1 and x plus 4, actually are correct. If you want a quicker way to check it, all you have to do is take these two numbers, the 1 and the 4, add them together. Do they equal 5? Check. That's one check. Then take 1 times 4, multiply them, and you get 4. That's our second check. If both your checks match, right, like if both of them are checks, then you have your answers and they're correct. Okay? All right, let's try a different one. X squared plus 6x plus 5. All right, so numbers that multiply to give us 5, or factors of 5 are just simply 1 and 5. So 1 comma 5, and they add to give us 6. So that works. So there's our factors. So in our bubbles, we put x plus 1 and x plus 5. Good. And again, you can check this using FOIL. I'm going to avoid that for right now. What if you had something in a different order? Like what if you had x squared plus 5x plus 6? So now this one right here, if we take a look and we start out the same way, right? The factors of 6, and see what it adds to. So the factors of 6 are 1 and 6. Does 1 plus 6 give us 5? No, 7 does not equal 5. That doesn't work. So then we got to think or look in our multiplication chart and find what other numbers multiply to give us 6. And the other two numbers that match is 2 and 3. So 2 times 3 is 6, so that works out. And 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So 5 equals 5, that's a check. So your two numbers are x plus 2 and x plus 3. Boop, boop, boop. All right. So now let's try a medium level question, all right? We have x squared plus, let's do 7x plus 12. All right. The reason why this is a medium level question is because there are multiple factors of 12. So let's go ahead and do a couple of them just to go ahead and start. So factors of 12, and just see what it adds to give us, right? The most obvious ones are 1 and 12. That's a good place to start just because it's 1. It's easy to check on the multiplication chart or using your calculator. So 1 plus 12, does that give us 7? No, that gives us 13. 13 does not equal 7, so those are not our numbers. Other numbers that multiply to give us 12. 1 up from 1 is 2, so 2 times 6 gives us 12. Is 2 plus 6 7, though? No. 8 does not equal 7, right? So now we got to go up the multiplication chart, or go up from 2. The next number is 3. 3 times 4 is equal to 12. Boom. That's one check. And then 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. That's our second check. So 7 equals 7. So our two numbers are x plus 3 and x plus 4. And again, FOIL it to check it and make sure that you're right. I'm going to do a couple more so you feel a little bit more comfortable. X squared plus 12x plus, that's too easy. Let's do something a little bit more challenging. All right, let's do 32. All right, so x squared plus 12x plus 32. All right, so let's look and see. We start out the same way. Factors, to see if they add to give us the magic number, which is 12. So factors of 32, again, we start out with 1 and 32. 1 plus 32 does not give us 12. That gives us 33. 33 doesn't equal 12. Our next number up is 2. 2 and 16, that adds up to 18, not 12. Right? Okay. 3. 3 doesn't go into 32, because if I look on the 3 multiplication chart, 32 isn't there. 4 and 8 also give us 32. 4 plus 8 equals 12. And 12 equals 12. Hey, that works. So our two numbers are going to be x plus 4 and x plus 8. Think you get the hang of it? X squared minus x minus 6. Let's do that one. All right, so we're looking for factors. Same thing, okay? We're looking for factors and we're looking for numbers that add to give you a -1. So factors of 6, 1 and 6. There is no way that 1 and 6 either add to 1 or subtract to 1, right? 1 plus 6 is 7. 6 minus 1 is 5. So that doesn't work. That doesn't help us. Other factors of 6 are 2 and 3, right? So 2 and 3 can add or subtract to give us 1. So let's see what those numbers are going to be. So we have a 2 and we have a 3, okay? The bigger number has to have the same sign as that. So the bigger number has to be a -3. The smaller number, right, has to be a +2. And the reason why is because when we multiply, just go back to our rules real quick, a negative times a negative is a positive. If one of the signs are different, then it's a negative, right? If you have negative times a positive, right, one of the signs are different, so that's a negative. If both of them are positive, positive times a positive is also equal to a positive, right? So that's our little like cheat sheet that you can use to help you. Come back to this slide if you need help with that. So our two factors are right here, right? We're going to have a +2 and a -3 because that adds to be -1 and it also multiplies to be -6. Okay, my battery is low. So x plus 2 and x minus 3. What I'm going to ask you to do is to go ahead. I'm going to give you a sheet for today. You're going to try some more problems on your own, and we'll take it from there.